Scotty, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day, Sunday, January the 21st, race number 6 at Santa Anita. It's the Astra going 1.5 miles on the turf for fillies and mares. Let's take a look at this field. Phil D'Amato has 3 of the 7 horses in this race, but not the morning line favorite. That's the number 6, Linda's Gift, who took him wire to window last time out on the grade 3 red carpet at Del Mar. Not sure she's going to make the lead in here. There's speed in this marathon.
I think that's probably the first thing you have to reckon with, Dan. How is this pace going to set up? Is it going to be as fast as perhaps Timeform US thinks it's going to be? There's certainly a chance horses that want to be forward in here. Linda's Gift, I like that she showed she can get the distance last time, but man, she did it with a really soft trip.
She certainly did, and we'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Timeform believes it'll be a fast pace. I think it'll be more fair than fast, and we see Linda's Gifts not getting the lead. Personally, I think the 2 Leisure Wear stretching out off a mile race where she showed good tactical speed. I think she's going to try to wrest the lead away from Rose Barton, who sheds blinkers off the claim.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it plays out. I do think those are the 2 horses that probably go for the lead, though, Dan. I mean, if nothing else, Rose Barton looks like an impossible win candidate in here, but if they're going to run her in this race off the $25,000 claim, I doubt they're taking her back.
Yarborough is the number 1. Frankie Dettori picks up the mount on a horse that's bound to be a big price. The last time she raced on turf, she really didn't get out of her own way at Keeneland. Of course, that race was over a wet turf course, but then again, this one got beat at Mountaineer 3 starts back.
I know. It's amazing to me, especially when you look at her pedigree, because I'll say this about her pedigree. There's a lot of class and a lot of distance on the damn side of this pedigree. So you wonder how could they even consider running her 6 and 7 furlongs, even with the layoff in play there, her first 2 starts. I wanted to like her, Dan, if only because I don't really love this field. And I watched that Keeneland race back, the race 2 back, the last time I took her. I watched it back again, just hoping to see something that would talk me into her. I just didn't really feel like she did any running in there.
D'Amato's being confident with the 2 Leisure Wear, running this horse a distance of ground off about a 7-month layoff. She was on a hard chase last time out in a second-level allowance race, and maybe that worked against her. Prior to that, she was in really good form, and she does have speed. I won't be surprised if Pratt gets this horse to the front, makes the other speeds take a seat, and all of a sudden puts on the brakes.
Exactly. That's a really good way to look at her. And I think it's just also worth pointing out. I mean, this horse is probably going to be a fair price in this race. And I don't know who you're supposed to be, super afraid of in here. She's not the most likely winner. I could easily take a shot with this horse, though. If she makes the early lead, she could be tough.
It's possible we've seen the best out of most of these horses. Maybe that's not the case with the 3 Lakota Spirit, who's only been to the post 10 times. I think the question here is all about distance because she is in very good form right now. Here's her most recent start going 1.8 miles. This is the Robert J. Frankel Stakes. And all in all, it was a pretty good trip. She sat the pocket, but she's going to be running at the end for second. Listen, Angel Nadeshiko, she just had all the best of it on the lead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were talking about the soft trip that Linda's Gift had last time. The winner of this race had an even softer trip as a long shot, walking on the lead in there, and Lakota Spirit just sat behind her and couldn't run her down. I'll be honest that I'm not sure how good this horse is either, but I mean, when you go back to that Del Mar race in August where this horse was off the layup, did she run that much worse than Linda's Gift that day?
No, I think she ran just fine that day off of the layoff. Her last race was her first race at 1.8 miles. She seemed to finish well enough. And in this race, if the pace seats up, I think she'll be running on in the end. Rose Barton going to be one of the pace protagonists. Blinkers off here. Didn't run that great last time out for a tag. Was taken out of the race by Paddy Gallagher, who's a shrewd horseman. And I wonder if he saw something in this one that said distance.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I still think this mare is really, really hard to like in here. But again, I just won't be surprised if they're on ascent here trying to make the early lead and see what happens.
Duvet Day, the number 5, won this race last year, but she did so with the benefit of several prep races. She's coming into this race cold. We have not seen her since the spring. I'm a huge fan of this horse, and I think on her best day, she might simply be the best horse. And if you think the pace is going to be fast, she might get the right setup as well. The layoff is somewhat concerning. I'm not interested in the San Juan Capistrano against the boys last time out. I'm guessing something happened that forced the layoff.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with all that stuff. I'm not going to add anything to it. I think she just might be the best horse in here, and maybe she gets the setup, especially when the distance comes into play, because she clearly wants distance. And as far as the layoff goes, I mean, you're right. Maybe something happened in the San Juan Capistrano. It's also worth pointing out, this horse never had a layoff. Started in June of 2021, ran right through to June of 2023. Never had a real break in there, a couple of months at the most. So maybe she just needed a little time.
reunited with Kazushi Kimura, who was aboard for last year's Astra victory. Linda's Gift is up next. We talked about the soft trip. Here it is on the red carpet. She was stretching out for the first time. She made just an easy lead. Can't go much slower than this. 51-3, 17-1. She's being chased throughout by the runner-up. That's being Musical Rhapsody. There's no closing going on. At least Linda's Gift's finishing with those fractions. You'd expect her to finish.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not like she was getting away from those horses. I mean, walked on the lead there. And listen, I'm not going to knock her. She has talent. She's probably going to get the right trip because I don't think she's a horse who needs the lead to be effective. So all those things are positive, but I know she got the distance last time, Dan. I wasn't blown away by it. And it didn't make me really feel like she likes longer distances. I think she was just in the right spot last time.
It's fair to say that her last two wins have come in perfect scenarios because the race before that she won, 4 starts back, easy lead, mile and a 16, going 49 on the half.
Exactly.
But I think you made a good point that she can sit from off of the pace, and she is in good form. 2-1 seems light. Musical Rhapsody is up next. Really couldn't find the excuse last time out. I know she got wired, but she was right on top of the winner turning into the stretch, and she just couldn't get there. Maybe she needed it in her first start off of a short layoff. Maybe this time Mike Smith's going to take her back and sort of let others do the dirty chasing work.
I wonder about that too. I mean, I'm with you on the last race. It was a little bit of a layoff. I didn't think she ran that well, but she tried hard through the stretch, Dan. 2 back, I did think maybe she had a little bit of a trip excuse there when she was behind a couple of these. That trip to me didn't really work out. I think she can do better.
Before we take a look at our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Next week, Pegasus World Cup week, Southwest Stakes week. Things are starting to heat up on the DRF YouTube channel. You're going Duvet Day. I think this horse might be ignored a little bit in the wagering, Mike, simply because of the layoff, and that would be a mistake.
I think so too. We'll see about the layoff. Maybe it works against her. I just think this is a good spot for her, and I think she might be the best horse over this distance.
I wish I had a stronger opinion in this race. I'm not even sure if I'm going to bet it, especially if Linda's Gift is something like the 2-1 morning line. I do think she's going to rate. I like that she has the recency over your horse and the fact that she can sit off the pace a bit. 5-6-1-3 for Mike, 6-7-5-3 for me in the Astra, the Sunday race of the day. It's at Santa Anita. Good luck.